I'll start. I mentioned that just because for me in my career, first of all, my career doesn't start unless I am being mentored by that head coach that I played for. And the first opportunity that I got in coaching was through that person. And he has become that mentor and that advisor, someone that I trust, someone that knows the business better than I do, that I trust to give me good advice, good solid advice, and maybe not necessarily what everyone would think is the right thing for me to do, but what he knows is the right thing for me to do because he knows who I am, and he knows what my goals are, and he knows what I want to accomplish. And as a result, it's put me in that mindset as a head coach that that's what I want to be for my players. It's someone that they can come to and have that relationship, outside of just what we do on the basketball court. But to be that mentor to them, to advise and to guide. I think it's really important in any of these professions to have that person who's been where you are and who's been where you, or who maybe is where you're trying to go, and can really kind of help you get there by giving good, solid career advice.
And good advice is not always what you want to hear, it's what you need to hear. So they seem like two very different things, but you have to take both in stride. Anybody else have mentor?
I'll just talk about from an officiating side. I think I surrounded myself with women in officiating that had made it to the majors or were doing the NCAA finals because I knew that's where I wanted to go. So I knew that they knew the path or the formula to get me there. And I think what they really helped me with was just seeing officiating as a business. And it's not just about showing up on the court and just calling fouls. It's about being on time, making sure that you know the rules. It's about the relationships that you have with coaches. It's about how you talk to the players and the coaches. So it's a lot more about outside of the lines than it is about inside of the lines, and just seeing it more as a profession than it's just something to show up and blow your whistle. And so I think just surrounding myself with the right people that were doing what I'm trying to do and what I still aspire to do has just really helpful. And it's helped me to not make some mistakes that I probably would have made, or the mistakes that I have made. It's helped me to just rebound a lot faster. So I think mentors are they're important. And it's okay to have more than one because they bring different advice and get different viewpoints to what you're trying to do.
Thank you. Anyone at the other end?
Yeah, I can add to this. As I mentioned earlier, I've been really lucky to have incredibly strong mentors in my life. I mentioned Patty, who I think served both as a mentor but also as an advocate. So as you're thinking about those kind of next steps, thinking about those folks who are mentors to you but also who can really serve and speak as an advocate on your behalf, I think is equally as important. Had phenomenal coaches at GW who really taught me how to be the CEO of a team. I really had never even thought about coaching in that way until I really had relied on my mentors. But I think maybe a greater lesson is just the thinking about willingness and openness to learn in general. Anyone around you can learn from and take good messages from, including your peers here. So it's not always about who your mentor is up, but who across the table from you, who's one of your teammates you can learn from. You can pull great information from almost any situation. So.
Thank you. And I know, I think Jerry mentioned it too, obviously we're here as females in athletics, and hopefully, obviously we're setting you the example that we've got, some folks that are future role models for others, but your mentor may be a male, maybe a female, it doesn't matter. It's someone that you can learn from, and that's what I think what Dawn's just saying, take that opportunity to learn from whoever. But now, as there are more women in the profession, we all feel like we need to be role models because we may or may not have had those folks in those positions. So, that's why we're trying and Bria will laugh when I say this, pay it forward. We talk about that we all have someone in our lives that was that person that we could go to, and so we try to be that for other people now. So that's great. Any others?
I think for me, it's more of the environment that I've been put in throughout my career. As an intern at Florida State, a grad assistant at UNCP, I've been in such good environments from my bosses and my superiors that now, as somebody who supervises interns, I want to create that environment where they can learn and they can grow. And to go from someone who has asked for recommendation letters to now I have students asking me for recommendation letters, I feel like I've gotten there because of the mentors around me, because of the people I worked with at Pembroke, the people I worked with at Florida State, who created this environment where I wanted to learn, I wanted to ask for more responsibilities. So if you have people like that, they will ultimately help you become a better supervisor in the future. It doesn't have to be just one person. Like I said, it can be the work environment that you're around. UNCP was a very family atmosphere. There wasn't a whole lot of us in the department, but because of that, now I take that at Flagler and I want to create that family atmosphere with my interns and my apprentices and my student workers. So I think if you can just learn from the atmosphere that you're around and take what you like from that, you can then become a good supervisor yourself when you're in that position later on.